The global elite gather once a year in a small town nestled in the Swiss Alps to discuss political, economic, and humanitarian challenges facing the world. As a businessman, Trump actually never made the guest list. And he's the first president to go to Davos since Bill Clinton, who only attended his last year in office. Though it's a conference where your net worth is described with B's, not M's, yes, as in billions, and where people with Trump's populist views are considered persona non grata. Well, world leaders from business to politics issued a series of dire warnings in advance of Trump's appearance at Davos. And I'll bet they's made the editorial writers at the Wall Street Journal giddy.
Now he's going to Davos, and this is really oil meeting water.
From my perspective, I feel like he's going to get a bad reception there.
This year, the protesters seem particularly inspired. Trump takes the fun out of fondue.
That's just a bad poster. Fondue? I mean, they're really stretching. Well, once again, Trump has defied expectations and is surprising the world. The president crashed their swanky globalist party today, and though the world leaders continue to hit his policies on trade as protectionist, they're taking notice. Elites scrambled to take selfies with him, and they couldn't stop talking about him. They were elbowing each other out of the way along that stairway or escalator to get close. And there was substance from the president as well. It wasn't just they wanted the photo, they wanted to hear what he had to say. And sitting next to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Trump threatened to withhold aid to the Palestinians unless they returned to peace talks. And then, this is important, he challenged Netanyahu.
Israel does want to make peace, and they're going to have to want to make peace too, or we're going to have nothing to do with it any longer. They never got past Jerusalem. We took it off the table. We don't have to talk about it anymore. You won 1 point, and you'll give up some points later on the negotiation, if it ever takes place. I don't know that it ever will take place.
Yeah, Bibi had to grab the Pepto for that moment. He's like, wait a second, I don't think we talked about that. Oh, I think that's a gutsy negotiator working for a deal in real time. You see it all play out. Then the president sat down with UK Prime Minister Theresa May, who's still suffering from the post-Brexit blues. And it has been reported that she has had a very strained relationship with President Trump.
The Prime Minister and myself have had a really great relationship, although some people don't necessarily believe that, but I can tell you it's true.
Well, at the conclusion of the meeting, it was announced that the president's trip to the UK is back on track. It will happen within the year. Well, it's going to be a working trip, state visit, we don't know, but it's a win nonetheless. And contrary to all that hyperbole coming from the We Are the World types, Trump isn't going to stop trading with other countries. He's not itching to blow up the world. And he's not going to stop all immigration into the U.S. In fact, we have a lot of news later on in the show about what will be specifically offered in the president's deal on immigration. But what President Trump will do is he'll pursue changes in policies that have been detrimental to U.S. workers, U.S. manufacturing, and importantly, U.S. wages. Now, what does that mean? That means that America will no longer tolerate being taken advantage of by freeloaders or cheated in international trade deals, or have its intellectual property stolen by rivals. Those days are over. And whether you're an ally like South Korea or an adversary like China, our president has put you on notice that the old days of practicing globalization on the backs of the American people are also over.
My administration is taking power back from global bureaucrats and returning that power back to the American people, and you see it all the time. You see it economically, you see it at the church, you see it in every different way. We don't sing a global anthem.
We sing the American anthem. He's not president of the world, he's president of the United States. And though some of these world leaders continue to deride his policies, even chide him from the sidelines, they're taking notice. And if you listen closely, it's hard to miss how Trumpism, the pragmatic approach to issues like asylees and refugees and immigration, is maybe transforming the way other leaders think about these issues. This is German Chancellor Angela Merkel from today.
Europe, in its foreign policy, has not been all that active in the past. We need to take more responsibility. We need to take our destiny into our own hands.
We agree, Angela. Take your own destiny into your own hands. That's called sovereignty. That's what we're all about. Independent, free nations with unique identities standing up for their own interests and working with others. That's what Trump is all about. That's what Trump is actually doing here. We are taking our own destiny into our own hands, and we're not allowing some far-off bureaucracy to decide our future for us. And after seeing Trump's leadership on immigration and border enforcement in the U.S., Ms. Merkel may be seeing a little bit of the light herself.
We were always very proud of freedom of movement. We never really thought that much about protecting our external borders. When you look at it in hindsight, we think, well, how could we miss out on this? How could we never think about this? We felt safe and secure. Now we're working on an entry-exit system.
It's no wonder. In Germany in 2016, the crime rate among migrants and refugees skyrocketed by more than 50%. And according to The Telegraph, migrants committed nearly 175,000 suspected crimes in Germany. So suddenly, President Trump's law and order approach at the border is looking pretty good, isn't it? So the elites still snipe, though, at Trump for his dismissal of their climate change dogma, as the French president did today. Or they bristle at his decision to renegotiate NAFTA or stand up to cheating and intellectual property theft by China and other nations. He is undoubtedly shaking up the world order and reshaping the global debate in a very positive way. And though it may not make him any friends at Davos, Trump's America First philosophy is reviving our economy at home, and it's positioning us to lead the world from a place of strength, and it's about time. And that's the angle.